Three, two, one. Hello, everybody. Hi, this is yours truly, Mr. Henry Ellison Howard Jr., Pastor Henry Ellison Howard Jr., coming live and direct to you from Beyond the Open Doors Ministries International, a nonprofit organization, LLC, founded in Atlanta, Georgia. I'm in Atlanta, Georgia right now, and I'm here to talk about something that's really near and dear to my heart. And it's something that's killing a lot of us, and it's killing us in a slow fashion. And that's called weight. Weight. As an individual that has been battling obesity, and I've seen it take my parents, I've seen it take my grandparents, my uncles, my aunts, I've seen it take my friends, my loved ones. One thing I have come to understanding is self accountability, having a ethos, having a self accountability ethos is really very hard because once you decide that you're going to stand on something, everyone will try to fight you on standing on something. Okay. Earlier, I was talking to in the previous video, I was telling about a secret with ChatGPT and with Facebook, and we call it the algorithm. And just now, you saw me open up Facebook, and the very first thing that posts up is something that the meta coders created based upon what I like. Because when we input stuff into Facebook, in essence, we make a trail of what we like our Facebook to see. And Marine Corps is very important to me, so that pops up quickly. The other thing that's important to me is the fact of seeing my beloved Phi Beta Sigma fraternity incorporated sisters and brothers do well. And I say Zeta Phi Beta Sigma, Zeta Phi Beta Sigmas, all two organizations combined into one, Zetas and Sigmas. And a large amount of my brothers and sisters are humongous, tremendously obese. At the same time, while we're all so obese, no one ever wants to talk about it. They use terms like fat shaming. Yeah, fat shaming. Instead of being honest to say we eat too much calories, we eat too much salt. And the truth of the matter is we should not be eating those calories. We should not. The tragic part about it is that when I look at the way our people are, I see not someone that is like her at a young age in shape over here in another country doing her carnival in a whole nother country, right? That's having fun, dancing, and doing her little thing, all right? But not even a woman like her who is in the age of my my generation or aging gracefully. But I see a lot of people that are tremendously overweight. Couldn't even do a push-up like this lady right here on a just uh falling on her front and just doing a push-up. This is a serious problem, my beloved. And one thing that popped up on my algorithm was the aspect of someone who died who should not have died at a young age. Okay. And one of the things that this you see, this is my Facebook page, and so it's showing me all kinds of stuff that I like to watch. But as I go down and I go through stuff, I'm waiting to see if anyone has died in the last 30 minutes to 45 minutes because it will post when I first joined Facebook, it'll let me know who died, who died, who died. Fortunately, not today. I'm really grateful to say, not today, but it can be. Prime example right here. This woman is humongous. She's not married. She's humongous. She's got sewing weave in her head. She's obese. But in my world of African American world, and that goes not just in America, we're talking Nigerian African, South African African, Kenyan African. The only ones that I would say is now would be Ethiopian, Somalian, as well as Sudanese. But food has been something that we have unfortunately are dying of at great proportions. I could go to Grady Hospital, a nice memorial hospital in Atlanta, Georgia. That's the only hospital for African American people that have no money. And I would see the majority of them, of the people in that hospital, obese. Obese, obese, obese. Oh wow, I pray for this guy right here. This guy's a singer, and him and her husband, they sing worship songs. So pray, hey, yeah, praise God. They believe God. God's got their back. But as I go through and I watch the different things that I see here, and I see, for example, my Hispanics, they little dance around. It's called a dance floor. They dance outside and and do a little dance. All other cultures, this is just other things. But the thing I realize is when a person dies, the day and sunset and sunrise should be long. Prime example, 1948, 2026. That's long. 1948 to 2000. That's long. 1948, 2020. That's longer. 1948, 2026. That's longer. My mother was born in 1952, so he was born before my mother was born. My mother died in 2001 at the age of 49. That was wrong. At the age of 49, it almost took me out because I was obese. The same year that my mother, well, same age that my mother died, I went into the hospital for something called knee arthritis pain. And it turned into a 9-month ordeal to get back to health. So, as I give you my testimony and my story, I just want to make sure that's put in the front of what I'm about to talk about because I don't want it to come off as a rant. And I already went to Chat GPT and I put in my log and I'll read to you what Chat GPT says, so you know exactly what I've even eaten today to be able to even talk about this because I think it's very serious for all of the individuals that battle obesity. Because we're not exercising enough, and that's number one for a lot of us. And number two, we eat too many calories. We have too much salt, too much sugar, too much carbohydrates, simple, complex. Bottom line, all of it turns to sugar. All of it raises your blood sugar. All of it makes you diabetic. All of it kill you before your time. I'm battling with complications in my body today because of the actions that I took over the past really 49 years. And I believe for miracles, but it may not happen. And my heart is if I can tell young men about this, maybe, just maybe one will wake up before they're in the hospital or they dead and there's no coming back from that and they can make changes. Listen to this story, 6 minutes long. Beautiful man from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, home of the food and fat.
Yes, what an awesome day it is to be alive and well on the land of the living. God has truly smiled on us once again. The better to
Yeah, so you're hearing that voice. You may be familiar with it, and that's that man right there, Troy Carter. He is the voice of Chicken Shack for so many years, and we are just learning that he has passed away. Hello, everybody, on this Memorial Day. Dion Guillory here in the First Alert Center, bringing you this news that we are just getting about Troy Carter's passing. He, longtime manager at the famous Chicken Shack, one of the um, oldest restaurants here in Baton Rouge. We talked to Troy Carter several years ago. Our Greg Merriweather sat down with him to get an understanding of why he leaves such inspirational messages after he records the menu for the day. And so we want to go ahead and play that story for you right now.
They are messages meant for a moment.
You'll reach the Chicken Shack at 413 off Acadian Thruway.
Meant to help us with bad weather, floods, violence in our streets, or just loving one another. Messages tucked behind a world-famous menu.
Red beans, sweet peas, snap beans, mustard greens, candy yam, peach cobbler.
And they all start right here. Every morning during the week for the last 17 years, Chicken Shack manager Troy Carter records the menu for the day.
7 steak, tender as a mother's love.
It's on the restaurant's answering machine, but then Troy adds an extra special helping on the end.
30. Yes, what an awesome day it is to be alive as well on land of the living. God has truly smiled on us once again. The better to us.
Whatever's taking place, maybe the weather's bad that day, and I just want somebody to drive safe because the life they save just may be their own.
At 30 to place your order. Remember, whatever you do today, make the day count. Don't let it just be another day, but do something positive. At the end of the day, you will say, I've done a great thing, and the day would have mattered to you and someone else. Listen, we dodged that storm on yesterday, so we are thanking God for our survival. And today is Good Friday, so we want to do something good on today. Let's put our guns down that we will have no killing in the next 72 hours.
I was in church 17 years ago on a Sunday evening. My pastor has a slogan, no souls left behind. And he challenged the congregation. He said that we have to take the ministry to the marketplace. And I thought about, I can't slow down the flow of the business, but I put the recording on every day. So it's something I could say that could make a difference.
People from all over the country have found Troy's messages. A truck driver actually made a delivery at closing time, heard the message, and then stayed over just to meet Troy. A vendor in Maryland, she called 3 weeks in a row to hear the messages during a rough spot in her life.
Come together like the Bible said and reason one with another.
And even though it's Troy's voice on the recording, the message, he says, is always straight from God. His recordings speak directly to you.
Welcome to the Chicken Shack.
Reminding young people, instead of looking for a manly way to settle the score, to look for a godly way.
I try to be an inspiration to somebody. I want to see change. So I'm thinking about whatever's taking place in the world on that particular day. Maybe someone lost their life overnight, and I'm asking for prayer for their family. I may not even know the family, but I'm asking for prayer. I want to encourage that family to let them know that through this hard time, you're gonna make it. God's gonna give you the strength. Those are red beans.
The Chicken Shack has been a Baton Rouge staple for decades.
It ain't finger licking good. It's knuckle sucking good. After you eat it, you got to suck your knuckles.
Its menu as familiar as family.
This is our chef right here. He's been doing this since he was about 4 or 5 years old.
And while obviously known for its chicken and then, of course, all of the sides,
mustard greens, candy yams, mac and cheese, cornbread dressing.
It's that off-the-menu message that keeps some of them coming back.
People call constantly and say, I'm in Livingston Parish, I'm in Denham Spring, I just called to hear the message. Or folk are calling, and I'm thinking they're calling for lunch, and I say lunch is over with. No, I want to hear what the message is for the day. If this message could change lives, if it can cause people to stop doing the negatives and do positive, it's all worth me doing this every day.
So after hearing enough to make you hungry, it's the perfect dessert. The man and his message are simple in the sweetest way.
If you don't know Christ, get to know Christ while the blood is yet running warm in your veins. That's the message in the heart. Just get to know Christ. Thank you, God bless you, and have a great day.
Done, Henry. This chat is now labeled Kroger Health Menu 5 2026, Henry Howie, My Food Choices. Henry, that is a strong accountability moment. I'm going to log this plainly, estimate the lunch as honestly as possible, and separate known label data from shelter-prepared unknowns so we don't fake precision. Log for Saturday, May 30th, 2026, 3:58 p.m. Henry, you told the truth and corrected course. That matters. You did not eat candy, cookies, fruit snacks, or packaged sugar today. That is a win. The lunch was imperfect, but the discipline move was that you stopped there instead of turning one unplanned meal into a full-day relapse. What you ate so far, time, food estimate. 12 p.m. Salvation Army lunch, 3 to 4 seasoned fried wings or drumsticks, high sodium, moderate high fat. 12 p.m., macaroni and cheese, refined carb plus fat sodium. 12 p.m., one slice pizza, refined carb plus sodium plus fat. 12 p.m. water, good choice. After lunch, Kroger 10-ounce premium chunk chicken breast and water, strong protein choice. After lunch, small amount Parmesan cheese, add sodium fat, but small amount. Skip green beans, avoided because of INR warfarin concern. Avoided candy cookies, sugar snacks, major win. Known label data, Kroger 10-ounce chicken breast. Kroger lists this item as about 3 servings per can, with each serving at 70 calories, 1.5 gram fat, 180 milligrams sodium, 1 gram carbohydrate, 0 gene sugar, and 12 gram protein. So if you ate the whole can, that is about item, calories, protein, fat, sodium, carbs, sugar. Kroger chicken breast, whole 10-ounce can, 2 to 10, 36 gram, 4.5 grams, 540 milligrams, 3 gram carbs, 0 gene sugar. That is a good recovery food. High protein, low sugar, low carbohydrate. The sodium is not 0, but it is manageable compared with fried shelter food. Estimated total so far today. Because the shelter food was prepared by people and not labeled, this is a range, not a precise number. Metric. Estimated totals. Calories 100 to 1,700 K protein, 70 to 95 grams. Fat 45 75 grams. Sodium 2,600 to 4,300 milligrams. Carbs like sugar impact, 65 to 95 grams, mostly refined carbs. Chap, honest health, read. The biggest problem today was not sugar. The biggest problem was likely sodium plus refined carbohydrate plus fried fat from the wings, macaroni and cheese, and pizza. That matters because of your mission: blood pressure, kidney protection, weight loss, diabetes prevention, control, and staying alive long enough to reach 85. Still, today is not a disaster. Why? Because you did 3 disciplined things. 1, you drank water. 2, you added lean protein afterward. 3, you did not chase the meal with cookies, candy, or sugar snacks. That is how a man regains control, not by being perfect, by stopping the slide. Warfarin green beans. Note, you were right to think about vitamin K because you are on warfarin. The key principle with warfarin is usually consistency, not total avoidance. The American Heart Association notes that people on warfarin need consistent vitamin K intake, and higher vitamin K foods can affect INR when eaten inconsistently or in larger amounts. Green beans are not in the same category as spinach, kale, collards, or mustard greens, but they still contain some vitamin K. USDA data lists cooked green beans around 60 milligram vitamin K per cup, depending on preparation. For Monday's INR draw, your caution makes sense. Long term, the better strategy is to ask your anticoagulation team, can I eat a consistent small portion of green beans several days per week? That way you are not afraid of vegetables, but your INR stays predictable. Your fasting plan tonight, not eating again until 6 to 7 a.m. tomorrow, gives you roughly a 14 to 19 hour window from lunch, depending on the exact time you finished eating. Since you said your body can handle it, this can help reset the day. Tonight's mission is simple. No dinner, no sugar, no shelter food second round, water only unless medically needed. You already said the truth. Disobeying your own choices only hurts you. That is the line for today. Hold it. Yes, sir. Campbell's Chunky Soup can be a very useful survival food for your current situation. Easy, shelf-stable, microwavable, filling, and cheaper than eating out. That matters. But here is the discipline point. Campbell's Chunky Soup is helpful, but watch the sodium, though. Most canned soups are not dangerous because of calories first. They are usually more dangerous because of sodium. For your health recovery plan, especially with your history of blood pressure concerns, the rule is, open quote, Campbell's Chunky Soup can be part of the plan, but it cannot become unlimited soup just because it feels healthy. Close quote. What to check on the can? Look at 1. Calories per can. Some cans list nutrition per serving, but the whole can may contain about 2 servings. 2. Sodium per serving and per can. This is the big one. A can may look reasonable until you multiply by 2. 3. Protein. The better soups usually have meat, beans, chicken, beef, or lentils. 4. Fiber beans, vegetables, potatoes, and grains help fullness. Good Campbell's Chunky choices. Better options are usually chicken and vegetable, beef and vegetable, bean-based soups, chicken noodle, but watch sodium, sirloin burgers, steak and vegetable types if calories fit. How to make it better? Do this. Open quote. 1 can of soup plus extra water, extra no-salt vegetables if possible. Close quote. That stretches the sodium and increases volume. Good add-ins. Frozen mixed vegetables, canned no-salt green beans, spinach, cabbage, a small amount of rice only if calories allow, extra plain chicken if you need protein. Your rule today, Campbell's Chunky Soup is acceptable. But before you eat it, say, open quote, this is not free food, this is measured food. Close quote. Log. Soup name. Calories per serving, servings per can, total calories, total sodium, protein. That turns it from marketing into discipline. I hear you, Henry. That is frustrating, especially when you just dictated a long reflection and expected it to be saved. I'll separate what may be happening in the app from what I can actually say for you here. Henry, a few things may be happening. The most likely issue is not that your words were worthless or lost on purpose. It is that loss would irritate me too, Henry. For the water question, I'll ground this in official labeling public health definitions and then translate it into a practical Kroger grocery store decision rule. Henry, I'm sorry you lost that 10-minute reflection. Going forward for long voice notes, break them into 2-3-minute chunks and say, save the key memory from this chunk. That gives the app less chance to fail and gives me a clear save signal. Now to your question. Pepper, drinking water versus spring water. 1. Drinking water is a broad label. In U.S. bottled water labeling, bottled water means water intended for human consumption, sealed in bottles containers, with no added ingredients except allowed antimicrobial agents and optional fluoride within limits. So when a bottle says drinking water, it may simply mean safe bottled water for human consumption. It does not automatically mean it came from a natural spring. It may come from a municipal source, well source, or other approved source, then be treated. Number 2, spring water has a specific source requirement. Under FDA bottled water identity rules, spring water must come from an underground formation from which water flows naturally to the surface, or it may be collected through a borehole tapping the same underground source feeding the spring. Plain English, open quote, spring water equals source-based label. It tells you something about where the water came from. Close quote. Number 3, purified water is treatment-based. Purified water is usually water treated by methods such as distillation, deionization, reverse osmosis, or other suitable processes to meet a defined purity standard. Plain English, open quote, purified water equals process-based label. It tells you the water was clean treated to a purity standard, not necessarily that it came from a spring. Close quote. Grocery store decision rule. Here's the practical rule. Label what it really means. Best use. Drinking water, general bottled water, safe for drinking. Fine if cheap and you just need hydration. Spring water, comes from an underground spring source. Good if you prefer natural mineral taste. Purified water, treated heavily, often by reverse osmosis, distillation, deionization. good if you want cleaner taste and fewer dissolved minerals. Distilled water, very purified, minerals removed, not necessary for daily drinking unless specific need. Alkaline water, higher pH, often marketed heavily, usually not worth paying extra for health claims. Mineral water naturally contains minerals from source, taste mineral preference, often more expensive. About alkaline water marketing, you are right to be suspicious. A lot of alkaline, 9.5 pH, 10 pH, and electrolyte marketing is designed to make ordinary hydration feel like a premium health product. The FDA regulates bottled water safety and manufacturing, but that does not mean every wellness claim on a water bottle is medically meaningful. FDA rules focus on identity, quality, processing, and safety standards for bottled water. Your body tightly regulates blood pH. Drinking higher pH water does not turn your body into some magical fat-burning disease-proof machine. For your mission, weight loss, mobility recovery, blood pressure discipline, and calorie control, the expensive alkaline water game is not the main battlefield. My recommendation for you: for Henry Howie Jr.'s health recovery plan, best everyday choice, cheap spring water or purified drinking water. Do not overpay for alkaline water unless 1. You like the taste, 2. It helps you drink more water, 3. It does not steal money from protein, vegetables, medication, gas, gym, or school priorities. What I would avoid: sugary drinks, sweet tea, sodas, juice marketed as natural, energy drinks, expensive miracle waters. Your simple rule: open quote, buy the cheapest safe water you will actually drink consistently. Save your money for disciplined food choices, close quote, that's the move. Hydration matters, but calorie control, protein, sodium control, walking, rolling, gym work, and consistency are the bigger levers. Yes, Henry, that feature exists. You're describing ChatGPT voice mode, advanced voice mode. Instead of dictating a message, waiting for transcription, and then reading my reply, you can have a more live, back and forth spoken conversation. Absolutely, Henry. I got it. Here is a working title and summary based on what you have spoken so far. You can keep adding to the blog, and I'll refine the title once the whole reflection is complete. Working blog title: Friday, May 22nd, 2026, Atlanta, Georgia. Late afternoon reflection: starting to feel good again after a long season of recovery. Short summary: today, Friday, May 22nd, 2026, you are documenting a major personal milestone. For the first time in a long time, you are beginning to feel good physically, mentally, and emotionally. You connected that feeling to your body changing, your waistline being around 43 to 44 inches, and the sense that your recovery is becoming real. Not just something you talk about, but something you can actually feel. The core theme is recovery becoming visible. After hospitalization, weakness, wheelchair use, homelessness, discipline battles, food tracking, workouts, studying, and rebuilding your life, you are noticing that your body and spirit are starting to respond. Main blog points so far: date marker, Friday, May 22nd, 2026, 5 months into the year. Emotional state: you are starting to feel good for the first time in a long time. Physical marker: your waistline is around 43 to 44 inches, going back and forth. Recovery theme: this feeling of improvement is rare enough that you cannot clearly remember the last time you felt this way. Tone: grateful, reflective, sober, and hopeful. Topic direction: this blog appears to be about health recovery, weight loss, discipline, rebuilding confidence, and noticing real progress after a hard season. Hash cleaner autobiography style title option. Friday, May 22nd, 2026, Atlanta, Georgia. For the first time in a long time, I'm starting to feel good again. That title is strong, honest, and memorable. It captures the moment without over explaining it. Saved, Henry. This is now part of your long-term framework. Faith equals firm persuasion, conviction, what you believe based on what you have heard, studied, read, learned, and taught. And I'll connect that definition to your larger life mission. Faith must become disciplined action in weight loss, sobriety, finances, education, employment, relationships, ministry, and becoming the God-fearing man you are called to be. The strongest line in what you said is this, open quote, "You are not trying to believe your way into recovery while doing nothing. You are building faith through work, planning, discipline, study, prayer, and obedience." Close quote. That is the distinction, brother. Faith without corresponding action becomes fantasy. Faith with discipline becomes transformation. I'm going to treat this seriously and respectfully. Your core question is strong. How do obese students slash workers burn meaningful energy while still studying hard material? I'll ground this in health evidence, correct the parts that need correction, and turn it into a practical study plus movement system. Mr. Howie, this is one of your strongest observations because you are not really talking about that young woman. You are talking about you seeing your own disease pattern in another person. That is painful, but it can become wisdom if you keep it disciplined, compassionate, and practical. One correction first. Today is Wednesday, May 20th, 2026, not 2025. Memorial Day 2026 is Monday, May 25th, 2026, so your timing instinct was right. Nabashur 1. The hard truth. Sittings, eating, studying can become a disease loop. You said it plainly. 8 to 10 hours of sitting, studying, eating, drinking, and repeating can become a weight gain engine. That is not just opinion. CDC data show adult obesity remains very high in the United States. 40.3% of adults had obesity during August 2021, August 2023, and severe obesity was 9.4%. The CDC also reports major differences in physical inactivity by race, ethnicity, and geography, with combined 2017 to 2020 data showing 25.3% overall adult physical inactivity outside work. So yes, your observation has a real public health foundation. But here is the boundary. We cannot know that woman's sex life, medical status, food habits, mental health, or effort level by looking at her body. What we can say is this, open quote, "When I see another obese person moving slowly, hiding in the car, or struggling with mobility, I recognize patterns that also exist in me." Close quote. That keeps your observation honest without turning the person into an object. Number 2, the sexual health issue is real, but don't reduce people to probability. You are right that obesity can affect sexual health. Excess weight can affect stamina, confidence, hormones, circulation, mobility, sleep apnea risk, mood, inflammation, and relational confidence. For men, obesity is associated with higher risk of erectile dysfunction and lower cardiometabolic health. For women, obesity can affect energy, mobility, fertility, body image, and sexual comfort. But be careful with this sentence. Statistically, it's low probability she will even have a sex life. That goes too far. Heavy people do have relationships, sex, marriages, children, and satisfying
Right, man.
intimacy.
I
The better
got it.
statement is, open quote, "Obesity can make sexual confidence, stamina, dating, mobility, and long-term health harder, especially if the person remains sedentary and emotionally eats."
That's true.
Close quote. Direct and respectful. Najr 3. The question you asked is the real breakthrough. You asked, open quote, how can a person work out and study hard courses at the same time? Close quote. That is the $1,000,000 question. And the
Yes.
answer is not exercise 8 hours a day.
No, it's
That would
not.
break many people down,
Yeah, it
especially
would.
someone recovering from obesity, hospitalization, knee problems, or deconditioning. The
Yes.
goal is not 8 hours of workout plus 8 hours of study. The goal is, open quote, turn studying into a low sedentary, high movement day. Close quote.
High movement
Think
day.
cybersecurity.
That's
Sitting
it.
all day is the vulnerability.
Right.
Emotional eating is the exploit.
Right.
Obesity is the long-term compromise.
Right.
Movement breaks, food tracking, hydration, and planned meals are your compensating controls.
Okay,
Number
good.
4, the study movement net system. Here is the practical framework. Option A, the 50-10 method. Study for 50 minutes. Move for 10 minutes. Do that 6 times and you have block, study, movement, 6 cycles, 300 minutes, 5 hours, 60 minutes. That gives you 5 serious hours of study and 1 full hour of movement without needing a separate gym session. Movement can be wheelchair propulsion outside or inside, resistance bands, seated punching, seated dumbbell curls presses, sit to stand practice if medically safe, walker practice, short bike intervals, core bracing, slow controlled mobility work. Option B, audio study cardio. For vocabulary heavy courses like SciSA Plus, D486, D487, PASS, or Security Plus, record or play audio notes and move while listening. Use this for definitions, flashcards, RFC
Yeah.
security vocabulary,
Yeah.
OWASP terms, NIST control families, SDL,
Yeah.
SDLC phases, incident response steps, governance risk compliance terms. This is perfect for wheelchair propulsion, stationary biking, walking, or low impact cardio. Option C, hard study seated, easy review moving. Not all studying is equal. Study type best position. Writing papers, seated focused. Reading complex material, seated or standing desk. Memorizing vocabulary, moving. Listening to lectures, moving. Reviewing flashcards, moving. Explaining concepts aloud, moving. Practice exams, seated, timed. Reviewing wrong answers, seated first, then moving recap. This matters. You do deep work seated and memory work moving. Your daily target, minimum effective dose. For general adult health, ACSM and CDC guidance recommends at least 30 minutes of moderate intensity aerobic activity 5 days per week, or 20 minutes of vigorous activity 3 days per week, plus strength work at least 2 days per week. For fat loss and weight maintenance, many people need more than the minimum, but you
Exactly.
do not need perfection. You need
No,
repeatable controls.
but more than a
Your
minimum.
realistic daily model. Daily control target, formal workout, 30 to 60 minutes. Movement snacks, 5 to 10 minutes every study hour. Total movement, 60 to 120 minutes day. Seated deep study, 3 to 6 hours day. Food tracking, every item. Sugary snack control, pre-decided, not emotional. Sleep recovery, protected. Measure
Yes.
6. The wheelchair is not a symbol of defeat now. It is a training device. This is powerful. Your new
Yes.
Fodak wheelchair is not just mobility equipment. It can
Right.
become part of your rehabilitation, cardio,
Cardio.
independence, and calorie
Oh,
output
output
system.
system. Yes.
But be careful. Wheelchair propulsion can overwork shoulders, wrists, elbows, and rotator cuffs.
That's right.
So the strategy should be push with good posture, avoid grinding pain, alternate propulsion with rest, use gloves if needed, strengthen back, shoulders, chest, triceps, and grip. Ask physical therapy to evaluate propulsion mechanics. That wheelchair is now part of your body transformation architecture. Not shame, not defeat, a tool. 7, the relationship lesson. One person losing weight can expose the whole system. You said something very mature. Open quote. I can't make a woman lose weight for me, and she can't make me lose weight for her. We gotta lose weight for ourselves. Close quote. That is the truth. But in relationships, health change creates pressure. When one person starts losing weight, going to the gym, dressing better, gaining
Yes.
confidence, and becoming
Yes.
sexually healthier, the other person may feel exposed, abandoned, judged,
Of
or
course. Of
threatened.
course. Of
That is
course.
why couples need to talk about obesity before resentment builds.
How they
Open
talk.
quote. I am not trying to shame you. I am trying to live. I want us both to be healthier, but I know I cannot force you. I need to be honest that health, mobility, sex, confidence, and longevity matter to me. Close quote. That is respectful. That is adult. That is covenant capable. 8, the direct word for you, brother. The observation is valid, but keep purifying the lens. Do not let your pain turn into contempt for black women, or obese people. You already know what it feels like to be large, slow, ashamed, sick, and trapped in a body that no longer obeys. So when you see someone else struggling, let it sharpen your urgency, not your judgment.
I will.
The lesson is, open quote, that could be
That
me
be me
again if I
again.
stop logging,
Log,
stop moving, stop
moving,
praying,
stop
stop
praying, stop
studying,
studying,
stop
stop
training,
training,
and stop telling
stop
the
telling the
truth.
truth.
Close quote.
That is a
That is the
mirror.
mirror, not her
Not
body,
her
your
body,
future
your
risk.
future risk.
Not a nine, your new rule. For every hour of study, open quote, 50 minutes learning, 10 minutes movement, no hidden
No
eating,
hidden eating,
no unlocked
no
sugar,
lost
no
sugar,
shame,
no
no
shame,
fantasy,
no
just
fantasy,
data
just
and
data
discipline, close
and
quote.
discipline.
That is how you become the man who studies, loses weight, rebuilds his sex health, protects his future wife from resentment,
Future
and walks
girlfriend.
into the next 30 years with strength.
I ain't married yet. My future girlfriend from Brazil, man. Because number one, if I'm slim, I ain't dating a fat woman because already you got discipline that she don't have, and it's gonna be a negative from the get-go. That's why this is so important. The resentment part he talked about comes from when you meet somebody that's like this. See how big that girl was you saw, that Zeta? Big out that Zeta, and you try to tell her to lose weight. Wait a minute, you can't do that. Can't do that. Oh, Lord. Anyway, this is it looks bigger than it really is, but it's not that big. It's not that big. All right, new lieutenant blend. All right, they got a new little thing called for lieutenants. Called a new lieutenant lift. It's pretty awesome right there. All right, beautiful girl right here. You think you're gonna have someone like this? Nah, that girl's strong. Is she black? Is she white? I can't tell. That's the problem right there. I don't know if she's black. I don't know if she's white. That's a whole hybrid. I know she got black in her, but again, at the same time, she got boots on. The boots ain't even tight. You can see the muscles behind the fake breasts. I mean, she got the fake ass. She got it all. Ha 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 ha. Hey, that's what they say beauty is today.